So here is an amazing line from an amazing book by an amazing author. It's the paragraph that I'm reading out. It's titled "The Law of Irrationality," and listen to what it says. You like to imagine yourself in control of your fate, consciously planning the course of your life as best as you can. But you are largely unaware of how deeply your emotions dominate you. They make you veer towards ideas that soothe your ego. They make you look for evidence that confirms what you already want to believe. They make you see what you want to see, depending on your mood, and this disconnect from reality is the source of the bad decisions and negative patterns that haunt your life. Rationality is the ability to counteract these emotional effects, to think instead of react, to open your mind to what is really happening, as opposed to what you are feeling. It does not come naturally, it is a part we must cultivate, but in doing so, we realize our greatest potential. And then this one chapter itself is so powerful. But the message over here is that, see, we can all agree on this that humans by nature are irrational. Imagine water, which is very turbulent, very muddy. If you try to see through it, you can't see through it. But if that same water is still and clear, you can see through it very easily. The same goes with the human mind. Emotions, they are the turbulence and the dirt in the human mind. They don't allow us to see what's going on in reality. Because whenever we are, and most of the time we are, whether we are happy or sad or angry, we are trying to look for factors outside of ourselves to put a blame on for whatever is going on in our life, good or bad. And we are unable to see through our own emotional hijack, which requires the ability to calm our emotions down and be a pure observer. If you ever try to pause for a moment, just look at the object in front of you and just focus on this movement, you would find that there comes a point where all the thoughts going all over your mind in the background, they would stop. And at that point, you realize that all that drama that unfolds in your mind in the background all the time, that's not you. That's a thought pattern. And so much of who you truly are, you can figure that out by observing what that thought pattern is. And you might realize, oh my God, I'm so destructive because the kind of thoughts that I have running in the background, they're so destructive. And this book, in this particular chapter, is trying to tell us this thing that we need to hold that thought process out and be an observer to the situation first before making decisions. And the thing is that most people, what they do is, imagine that there is this guy A. This guy A or girl would say that, oh, perhaps God wants something else for me, and that is why I went through this problem. So this girl in her teenage thinks like this and tries to transfer the, you can say, burden of her mistakes and her lack of emotional control on herself to God. And then her life passes, she's mid-30s, mid-40s, same goes on. Oh, God must be having a better plan. Oh, God must be testing me. Then comes the end of her life, 60 or 70, or the man's life, whatever you want to say. And then that changes into, oh, this life is only a test. God is going to put me in a better place after this life. Then it basically goes into another tangent, and now the matter has gone to beyond death. And you don't want to be this guy or this girl who would summarize the life at the end of the day when it's time to die, that my life can be summarized as going from one nuisance to another nuisance. You don't want to be that. The problem that this particular chapter in this book itself, the whole book is like pure trigger, is trying to make us realize is that we may have been born to a certain religion and a culture. We may have been told certain things about God, but knowing is not the purpose of this life. We have to find God. If we start with the mindset that we know God, our religion is the best, we are the most superior because, hey, our religion is the best, then the search stops. And the moment you stop that search, it's game over for you. if you have found God, this is the litmus test that I suggest always. If you have found God, and you truly can, like, once you are there, you would realize that yes, I have found who God truly is, and you can only find God from within you, not outside of you. You would realize that all the problems go away. You live life on your terms. There is no test. God is either all love or he is evil. He is not suffering from multiple personality. So we don't want to say that, oh, sometimes God is testing me, sometimes he is rewarding me. You are given a free will and you are in control. And one reason why you struggle, and that doesn't include only outsiders, I'm talking about myself as well. I've been through a process where now I get to see things from a different level of consciousness, because see, this information, that this little paragraph, if this seems striking to you, thing is, this type of information is not taught in mainstream schooling. And I know that really well because I've been through that, and even I teach my whole online platform that basically provides educational service to students around the world is dealing with mainly the mainstream subjects. But I always tend to remind them somewhere here and there that, see, this is only something that you are using to develop a brand name of yourself. These are specs. The grades and the subjects you do, the degrees you earn, they are specifications. You use them to market yourself, to get a job or to start a business, but they ain't gonna tell you how to be a winner at life. That's a big story of its own, and the kind of information you get once you jump out of the mainstream education, there's no parallel of that. And that is why this message for today for you is that if you find this powerful, if you find this interesting, then just hit me a message. I'll tell you the name of the book and you can start reading it. It's magical and it will definitely do wonders to your life going in the future.